Is rock dead? Tobias Forge versus Gene Simmons debate. Is rock music truly on its last legs? This is the bold question that Ghost's frontman, Tobias Forge, has recently addressed in response to Kiss's Gene Simmons, who has been vocal about his belief that the genre is no longer producing significant new talent. Forge firmly disagrees, asserting that fresh bands will continue to emerge and make their mark in the music scene. Simmons, the iconic bassist and vocalist of Kiss, has repeatedly expressed his views over the years, claiming that rock is dead. His comments date back to 2014 when he criticized record labels for not adequately supporting rock artists. In 2021, he reiterated his stance, suggesting that while some contemporary musicians may enjoy popularity, they lack the qualities that make them iconic. He lamented that new bands have not invested the effort needed to create the glamour and excitement that characterized earlier rock music. Moreover, Simmons has controversially pointed fingers at younger music fans, accusing them of killing the thing that you love. This criticism seems to stem from his discontent with the streaming model, which he believes pays artists poorly. In a striking statement made late last year, he claimed that in nearly 4 decades, no new significant figures have emerged in rock music, famously asking, "Who are the new Beatles?" In a recent interview with Consequence, Forge countered Simmons' claims, defending the potential of younger generations to cultivate future headliners in rock music. He acknowledged that while it may seem that new headliners are scarce, he believes that as some beloved bands fade away, new ones will inevitably rise to take their place. "I think it was Gene Simmons who said it most often, but many have echoed the sentiment that rock and roll is dead and that no new headliners will emerge," Forge stated. "I understand that it has been sparse, but I believe that with time, there will be more headlining rock bands." He pointed out that there are indeed newer bands that have quickly gained prominence, faster than Ghost did in their early days. Forge noted a peculiar phenomenon that occurred in the 2000s, where everything old was deemed outdated, and anything that followed was labeled as new, particularly by those who were once in their 20s or 30s and are now in their 40s, 50s, or 60s. This observation highlights how age can influence perceptions of music trends. These remarks echo sentiments Forge shared earlier this year when he told NME that Ghost serves as living proof that the idea of rock is dead is a misconception. For the past decade, there has been persistent talk in the music industry, especially within rock, that rock is dead, or that no new bands can achieve greatness, he explained. Ghost, along with a few others, demonstrates that this is simply not the case. While he doesn't claim that any band can replicate the success of legendary groups like AC/DC, he emphasizes that it is still possible for new bands to rise to prominence. He pointed to contemporary acts like Sleep Token as examples of bands that are finding success, proving that the potential for growth in the rock genre remains alive. In April, Ghost released their 6th studio album, Skeleton, which received a 4-star review from NME. The review highlighted that while the album may not feature the immediate hooks of earlier works, it offers a more substantial experience. With a rich exploration of various genres and a deeper emotional resonance, Skeleton signals a new chapter for Ghost, crafted with a fresh vision in mind. Ghost's Tobias Forge versus Gene Simmons. Rock is not dead. Let's face it, rock music has been declared dead so many times that you'd think someone would have erected a tombstone by now. Yet, here we are in 2023, and the debate rages on. Ghost's enigmatic frontman, Tobias Forge, has stepped into the fray to counter one of rock's most infamous naysayers, Gene Simmons of Kiss. The result? A fiery rebuttal that challenges everything Simmons has claimed about the genre's demise. But here's where it gets controversial. Is Simmons missing the bigger picture? Or is Forge overly optimistic? You decide. For years, Simmons has been vocal about his belief that rock is no longer the cultural juggernaut it once was. He blames the so-called decline on a variety of factors, including shifts in the music industry, the rise of streaming platforms, and what he perceives as a lack of engagement from younger audiences. In fact, Simmons recently doubled down on his claims, asserting that no artist in the past 4 decades has reached the iconic status of legendary acts like the Beatles. It's a bold statement, but one that Forge strongly disagrees with, and he's not afraid to say why. In a recent interview with Consequence, Forge made it clear that he doesn't buy into Simmons' grim outlook. "I understand that it's been sparse," Forge admitted, acknowledging the challenges faced by modern rock bands. However, he quickly added, "With the disappearance of a lot of bands that I personally admire, Kiss included, I do believe that with time, there will be more headlining rock bands." His optimism stems from observing the resilience of newer artists who are breaking through despite the odds. Forge didn't stop there. He also highlighted what he described as a generational disconnect in how emerging bands are perceived. According to him, something shifted in the early 2000s, a shift that altered the way people categorize new music. "There's this strange time phenomenon that occurred somewhere in the 2000s, he explained, where anything that came after was simply labeled as new. And it wasn't just casual listeners doing this. It was often people in their 30s or 40s back then who are now in their 60s. Forge attributes this mindset to an inherent bias tied to age, suggesting that older generations may struggle to fully appreciate the evolution of contemporary music. This isn't the first time Forge has tackled the topic. Earlier this year, he addressed the persistent myth that no new rock bands can achieve mainstream success. Speaking to British music magazine NME, he passionately argued, "There's been this ongoing chatter that no new bands can become big. Ghost, along with a handful of others, are living proof that that is not true." He even cited specific examples, pointing to bands like Sleep Token as evidence that emerging artists are resonating deeply with fans. "Obviously, you can still become a bigger band," he emphasized, reinforcing his belief in the genre's enduring potential. What makes Forge's perspective particularly compelling is his own journey with Ghost. Despite the challenges facing the music industry today, the Swedish band has managed to carve out a massive following and headline major festivals worldwide. Their success serves as a powerful reminder that innovation and authenticity can still thrive, even in an era dominated by fleeting trends and algorithm-driven playlists. But let's pause for a moment and ask ourselves, is the issue really about whether rock is dead? Or is it about how we define success in the modern musical landscape? Simmons' argument hinges on nostalgia, while Forge champions adaptation and reinvention. Who's right? And this is the part most people miss. It might not be an either/or scenario at all. Perhaps rock isn't dying. It's simply evolving in ways that challenge our traditional understanding of what it means to be a rock star. So what do you think? Is rock truly dead? Or is it undergoing a metamorphosis that we're only beginning to understand? Do you agree with Simmons' bleak assessment? Or does Forge's hopeful vision resonate more with you? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear where you stand on this fiery debate.